Hi guys, and welcome to another episode of the Gibson Show. And today I am joined by Teb from WYLDE, or as I like to call you on broadcast, the Italian Stallion. Teb, how are you getting on?
Thank you for having me here, and hi everyone.
First off, I want to say congratulations on the year that's just gone past. Obviously, you're a current Rainbow Rumble champion. You had, 3 stages. Well, you had the SI Open quals at the start of the year. You played with WYLDE then in stage 1 and stage 2. So massive congratulations on getting the year underway. So to kick things off, how you doing?
I'm doing good as Eduardo, I would say, and bad as Steb at the moment, but we go on and we will fix whatever we have to fix.
Yeah. So you've got, I suppose the best way to put it, a lot of free time on your hands now because the off season's just started. What does the off season look like for a professional Siege player now when there is so much off time?
At the moment, is a stressful situation. Usually, when you have like just few months, like 2 months or maybe one, you have like some weeks break, and then like you keep working. But because we have a really long off season, now we just have free time to do whatever we want during the day, and I'm trying to think also about things outside the game, and trying to improve also on editing and on my social. That's it.
So I kind of want to ask you a question then about that. With the off season being so long, and with Six Invitational and the Major that are both going to kind of happen before we've got any other official Tier 1 competition, does it make it difficult to watch the Major and watch SI when you're not involved, or what are the kind of thoughts about it?
I mean, I've never been involved, so for the moment, like, I'm used to watch, and I like watching esports, especially Siege, so I enjoy this measure and the invitation, and just gonna try to take the best out of it and improve myself. That's what I can do.
Any really early predictions on who you think is going to win in Atlanta?
No, I think it's very difficult to predict who's gonna win. W7M is one of my favorite teams for sure, and from Europe, I would say like they're all on the same level. So I don't really know who can win it, and I hope, of course, you win, and let's see what happens.
Yeah, hopefully. Look, I think I kind of agree with you. W7M are obviously going into this looking very strong again. They've had a ridiculous year. You've got BDS, who just won, obviously, they won Gamers 8, which you, of course, were involved in the qualifiers for earlier this year as well. So you've got a couple of teams that are looking pretty strong going into this. But again, it's difficult to judge when the season is so short and when, you've got that break between the last play day and the major itself. So I want to talk about you. So obviously, you're an Italian professional player. You've played for teams like Navi. You spent the last 2 stages playing for WYLDE. What got you into competitive Siege? Like, tell us how you made that journey to become a pro player.
I started playing competitively like a lot of years ago. I think I was like 16. Now I'm 21. So it's at least 4 years that I play at a good level. The first year was like just a test. I started to like as a sub for the top 2 Italian team back in the days. That was IGP Chimera, and after that I joined a team that was called Execu Quantix. From there, like, I started playing the Italian league, and with the years I always grew up and always improved myself. So year by year I was going in a better team until I reached Machko, and from there. Like we won the league twice, and I think I did a huge improvement there. So then was time to go in the big boys league, the league.
Yeah, so you made the move from Matchco over to Navi. How did that move come about? Like, was it a player that approached you? Was it, Navi management that approached you, or did you reach out to them? Like, how did that move come around?
Like the manager of Navi reached me, and like a step before, like I left Mashko without any regrets from any other team. So I took a risk because I really wanted to play in T1, and it was time for me to try to look for that opportunity. I'm not a guy that play a lot of rankeds with other pros or like EU people. So like back in the days, I was playing a lot of FPL. I'm the guy with most FPL matches played ever, and I think like they saw me from here, and like as soon as they understood I was free agent, they wanted to trial me to see what I looked like in a scrim environment.
And I think when people were watching you play with Navi, and myself included, it was like I had the feeling there was something there, but we didn't really see the tab that you could the very, very top level that you could reach. And you had that moment where you had the opportunity to qualify for SI, but obviously a player left, went to M&M, so you had to bring in Jegs very last minute for those SI quals. Did that upset the team a little bit? Because, as an outside viewer looking in and having followed Jegs' career, I felt like Navi had him on a role that didn't really suit the way that he plays and didn't really help Navi, do their best in those SI quals.
Talking about me with Navi, it was pretty hard because I was the only foreign guy at the beginning. Like there were 4 UK guys, and I was the only Italian, and so I felt a lot of pressure. Plus, like I didn't feel like they were trusting me 100%. It's not like here in WYLDE, because like if something was going wrong, of course, like in a team where there is only one foreign guy, like you're gonna point your finger to him, even to save yourself, I would say. I'm not saying that that's the case, but that was what I was feeling. And with the change of Nave, that absolutely I didn't know anything about it, and I didn't expect it. I don't know if my teammates knew something, but I didn't know anything. I didn't expect it. We had to change a lot inside the team because we brought in Jax, and we decided to take a really good guy that can shoot really well, and we removed that skills that Nave was bringing, that was like IGLing and flexing a lot of operators. So there was a big change, and we didn't have a lot of time to fit the role of Jax inside the team, and I think that it didn't work at all, even because Jax didn't have experience in T1, and so we lost. We kind of like, the feeling we had was that we were gonna lose it. Like it was like people already knew we were gonna lose it. Like we didn't try, I think, at 100%.
And you spoke about the fact that you felt like at times maybe the team were pointing fingers at you because you were obviously the only non-English player on the team. Like personally for you, was that a hard time? Like, did you just keep believing that you had what it took to make it, or did it make you doubt yourself at any point?
I mean, it was an hard time, but I was happy because I was learning a lot of things from my teammates. They were pointing out a lot of problems, and I'm really happy about that because I love when there are problems that I can fix. And I knew I could have done like 10 times more, and I had everything inside myself. I had just to let people like see it in the official. So yeah, I would say it was a hard time, but I'm happy about that. It was like a transition movement,
Yeah, well, like you've developed a lot in the time. Like I keep saying it, there's times when I've been watching WYLDE play where you've just gone absolutely nuclear. You know, that was the thing that I loved about watching WYLDE, was the fact that it could be you that pops off. Packbull could have a big game. It could have been aces at the time. You know, every single member of WYLDE could absolutely win a game by themselves if they needed to. So the move to WYLDE, right? So I'm very good friends with Jegs, and when the news came out that Navi were leaving, I know that there was a lot of like question marks over, you know, who's going to take the spot, where's everybody going to go. From what I heard, you were talking with WYLDE pretty early on, so you kind of left Navi and you had, you know, you had the wheels moving to get that move to WYLDE. How did that come about? Like, did it take long to negotiate you getting in? Because obviously with a New York coming in, you want to get in there and you want to be part of that project.
No, I was not talking with WYLDE a lot before.
Okay.
Like that is not true. Like what happened was like from nothing, Navi came and said us, guys, we are leaving. We knew it could happen, like because like they said something about it month and month before, but we didn't expect it was gonna come like that. And so from nothing, one day like they called us and said, guys, we are leaving, and we were like in shock. And then we got asked like who wanted to stay in the roster and try to go in the New York that we didn't know anything about, or like just go and look for options or leave the roster. That was a must choice, like you had to do. I decided to stay with the guys. Some of them decided not. Jax decided as well to stay, and then happened that in some moment, like me and Jax were out because there were some other choice being decided, and that was like for 1 week, and then they said, okay, no, you and Jax are in. We are rebuilding the roster, and then WYLDE came, and I knew there was AZ, and I was so happy about it because AZ was one of my favorite players since always, because he was like, when he was with Rogue, he's like, he was so impressive. He was putting numbers that are not human, and so I was so happy about that. And then from there, like WYLDE built the roster with the coach Zeus, and we had some trials with other people. Even Kayak tried with us. Then like he decided to go to Heroic. So like we built the roster, and at the beginning, the really beginning, like we were like invincible, you know, like everything was going at 200% in the right way. After, of course, we faced some problems, but like I love my team because like I feel very comfortable, and the way we play suits everyone, like in the team, you know, like it's like we found the right game style that can fit with 5 different people that thinks in 5 different ways. Because there is Jax, that is the classic anti-fragger that just go ahead and shoot everyone. There is Packbull that thinks like in the old way, like go slow, structure everything step by step. There is Angry that wants to bring that ideas with Grim, Ying, and there is AZ that he likes to lurk and bring default stuff. And then there is me that I love to flex everything in like everything in one team. So we created that team, and I think it's amazing.
Yeah, it's one of those things because I was following Wild for a while because obviously they were in Yukon with the old roster that had people like Nixon involved. Then they moved to GSA, and when they moved to GSA, I think it was the SSP roster that they picked up, and then they added the likes of Kaneo and Corey came in and Zeus was the coach. And the one thing that always stood to me about Zeus the coach was he had a real identity, and it was people like to say Wild are crazy, they do all these mental things, but when you really look at it, Zeus likes his teams to just be direct. Is there an easy access to site? Take it. No, don't overcomplicate things. And I think by not overcomplicating things, people think that it's really complicated, but it's not. How did you find, interacting with Zeus and going to play the way that he wants, of course, with an IGL pack bull who, of course, had a lot of experience in Italy as well?
Me and Zeus have an amazing relationship. I love him because he's that kind of coach that don't tell you what you have to do, because he knows that at the moment in esports, players know more than coach, because we play the game at the highest level. We know when to shoot, when to pick, which strats to do, and so he just wants you to be in your best comfortable position, where you can do everything at your best. So he wants you to be direct with him, say what you like, what you don't like, and then when everything fits, he just try to spot the problems and we fix that. But more than that, he knows that we can do a lot of things and change them alone, without his help. So he's just here to let everyone works at his best and make sure that we don't have problems between each other and whatever in the life and with the game, of course.
And I feel like that first stage, particularly the first couple of play days where you guys just shot out like a rocket, I think you went completely undefeated in the regular season. That's when I feel like you really announced yourself to the pro scene, because that's when you started really popping off. Like, you had multiple double-digit kill, matches. Like, how confident were you that stage? Because to me, that was this is me, I'm Tab, and I'm a tier 1 player.
I was very, very, very confident, even because we were screaming, we were doing everything, and we were having so much fun. Our screams, we try a lot of stuff, and having fun, I think, is the most important things, because at the end you are playing a video game, and before being a job, you must have fun of what you are doing. And then the results were coming and everything was working, so I was very, very happy. What we always missed was that lack of confidence in the most important games, in the playoff games, and you can see that, I think, yourself. Everyone can, the stats talks is as well. I don't know if it's a lack of experience or just a lack of working better for that matches. I don't know.
I think, though, again, it was the chemistry was growing. Like, stage 1, you were a new team, so there's going to be some times where maybe the communication wasn't on point. I think even though stage 2 was maybe a little bit worse over the regular season, I still think that as a team you were clearly growing. You just won Rainbow Rumble, you started to play well again. You finally got that best of, you won a best of 3 as well, which I think was kind of one of the big question marks about Wild, was could you guys win a best of 3? You went ahead and you showed that you could do that. So with that being the case now, where the regular season's over, you did get a trip to Ireland. So I want you to talk about that. So you've been to Ireland. I think we didn't know this at the time, but you, Jags, everybody was in the airport the exact same time as me and Whippet. But if we hadn't known, we would have met up. But was it you that was... I'm trying to remember, was it you that got caught up by the delays at the airport? Or was it one of the other teammates? Because remember all the airports went down that day you flew to Ireland.
I think I was angry that
Hungry.
had problems.
Yeah,
he had problems from Germany. Now, for me, well, everything was fine. We had a lot of fun even there. WYLDE treated us really, really good and very professional. We are there not to work, like we are there like to work on system. We are there like to just work on media stuff and to meet everyone, because we didn't meet each other. So I think it was a good time, and I enjoyed Ireland. I didn't expect that.
Yeah.
I thought it was a very, very boring place, but we found a way to have a lot of fun.
And what's the WYLDE Academy like? You know, the setup that they have down at Cork, because I know some people have seen pictures online, but what's that boot camp academy actually like?
It basically is it's an office. Like we can think about an office building, and we have the academy there. We have to think that WYLDE is an org that is growing and is trying to improve year by year. There are still a young org, like it's just been a few years, so I think it's a very good step to begin with, and the office work good, like there is what you need, and so nothing to say about it, like.
Yeah, so looking forward to the future now, there's a lot of rumors online about, you know, some people are saying that, you know, you guys aren't part of WYLDE anymore. Some people are saying you are. Where does everything kind of stand with the org now going into this long off season? Because again, from maybe a viewer standpoint and from somebody who works in the finance world in my day job, I can understand it is difficult to justify having a team on a long off season. Like, what can you say about that?
Of course, I cannot say much, but WYLDE is trying to build a plan for the 2024, where we want to, of course, be better and try to finally reach that measure. That's what we need. So WYLDE is gonna decide everything. My point of view is I want to stay WYLDE. I want to stay here and fight for that, because I found myself in the right place, and so it's just a matter of time for WYLDE to decide everything, and then we keep working and we keep improving.
It is pretty cool to play for an org that has someone like Usain Bolt as one of the investors, and I'm not gonna lie, the WYLDE merch that you guys get, the jerseys, the tracksuit that you're wearing, it is pretty nice, right? You get some nice stuff in that org.
Yeah, everything is very, very, very good. And I want to say another thing about the situation now. I think that's a bad time for everyone who is not involved in the match, because like we know, like this a lot of months until the next EU League, and so I think everyone that is not involved is in the same spot, where like obviously like the orgs don't want to take bad decisions, and they have to think also about their future, and as players are stressed a lot, because like we don't know what's gonna happen. It's not in our hands every time. So I hope like in the next year Rainbow Six is gonna do something about that, and try to fix all these problems we have in the esports scene at the moment, because I think it's very, very important also for casters and everything that works behind the scene, because like if we don't work, you don't work, I think so.
Yeah. It's one of those weird situations that affects everybody. Like, I've casted less this year than last year, even though I worked tier 1 and stage 1. Kind of got dropped for stage 2, so unfortunately didn't get much work. And I think everybody feels it from the top, the top, which is the players, all the way down through to the admins and, you know, everyone who's involved. So hopefully we do get a bit more opportunities in 2024. So, you know, I want to talk about Italy now, because I think you and I will both agree Italy is a very passionate region when it comes to Siege. You've got some Italian casters who I've seen cast before who are incredibly passionate about it. You've got tons of, you know, brilliant players, people like you, people like Gemini, you know, Acqui, Lolo, Sorry, you know, Dora. There's just so many good Italian players out there. Why do you think that it's so difficult for Italian players to get opportunities in Tier 1? Because I know that a lot of you guys do speak English. Like, why do you think that there are issues? Because I think we all agree there are players out there, like I mentioned, Lalo, Gemini, Acqui, who deserve to be playing in Tier 1.
Yeah, I mean, I talked to some of them, and we grew up together. Like we have been in team together years and years ago, and then we found ourselves in the Italian league all the years. So I know them pretty well, and yeah, like you said, they deserve to be in T1, but it's difficult. I think for them to be like to find a team where they can be confident at 100% as they are, for example, in the X Makers roster right now, and for other people to bring them in, because like, yeah, they know English, but they don't know English that well, and they never been in another team, so you are scared of that, you know. But I think there are the opportunities. Like, it's just them. Like, I think they have to want it more, and try to take the risk, because if you don't take risk, like you never know if it's gonna work or not. And I've said that to them as well, of course.
And do you think that even for the likes of Gemini, who had the opportunity at G2, which I think most people agree he didn't quite get given maybe the full opportunity that he would have wanted, definitely not the opportunity that he deserved, because again, he was only there for the blink of an eye. Do you think that experience with G2 will help him in his search for getting into Tier 1?
At the moment, I don't know anything about Gemini and what like his thought about the future, if he's gonna play, not play. I don't know anything, but for sure I know that everyone could think like he's been lucky to go to Jisoo. But from a point of view, I would say that you're not lucky, but you are unlucky, because everyone knows that when you get in Jisoo, you are getting the best orc of the world that wants to win and has a goal as only win. And if you don't win there, like, you know, there's gonna be change for sure. So he didn't have time to prove everyone what he's capable of, because like he had only 1 month, and I understand what he felt in that moment. And because again, you're getting an environment of 4 people that are the winning team of the world, like they're the best team of the world, and you are there and you're scared, and you feel the pressure. So I understand that his performance was not the highest of his life, but I think it's even normal. But at the same time, I can understand Jisoo that don't want to take the risk and wait for Gemini to bring the best performance. So
yeah, well, look, I think we all agree we'd like to see Gemini, a bit more Gemini at the highest level if he decides to carry on playing. So with that then, I want to talk to you about your old teammates, because obviously you've played on a couple of teams. You've had teammates that have been, I can imagine, fun to play with. But I want to ask you a couple of quick fire questions about all the teammates that you ever played with.
go on.
And I want you to come up with answers. So to give you an idea, I will ask you a question like, who's the most likely to throw around? And I want you to tell me who it would have been. You get what I'm getting at here?
Yeah.
So out of all the teammates that you've played with, who's the most likely to throw around?
I think Jax.
Jax. Out of all the teammates that you've played with, who's the most likely to just get up and leave in the middle of a scrim?
Hungry. 100% hungry. 100% hungry. There are screens where we waited like 15 minutes for him and we didn't know where he went. You say like, guys, bring back, be right back, I'm gonna get a drink. Yeah. Then like he went for a pee, he went for a drink, he went for a pizza, he went for everything. So
who's the most likely to forget their passports?
Forget his. I think it's a mix among like Packpool, Hungry, and the leader. I think it's a mix. I don't know. I think a mix.
Yeah, we'll go for that. I didn't know that about Leader. I did meet him in Canada, so we didn't forget his passport that time. Who is the most likely to sleep in the morning if you had scrims or plans?
Oh my god. Sleep. Jax maybe.
Jags again.
I think Jax. I think like if it never happened. It never happened. But if we probably screamed at I don't know, let's say 12 a.m. I don't think Jax was gonna be there every time. I don't think it.
And last one is if you were going for a night out or you're going to a club or a bar, which teammate would you like to go out with for a night the most?
Always Jax.
Jags? A lot of love for Jags here. Look, I can understand that he's a cool guy, fun guy. I think he's one of those people too that he's good at nearly every game he plays, which is kind of frustrating too. He's not just great at Siege. So with that, I want to step away from Siege now for a little while and kind of just talk a bit more about you. So with you, when you're not playing Siege, when you're not scrumming, when you're not competing, what are your hobbies? What do you like to get up to in your free time?
I love to go to the gym. I love to party. I love to be out with friends, to have like dinner, lunch. Rarely I go also to see my family members or other people that I don't see most of times. And other than that, I love to travel. Like if I have the opportunity, at least once a year, I try to travel in my holidays and go in some places that I didn't see and party there.
Yeah. So, are you hoping to get like Crane built, or do you have anything in mind as to where you want to get to?
I would like to be that big, but it's very hard because like you have to eat a lot and you need to have a lot of dedication because like you have to like I live alone, so I have to cook my food, I have to wash my plates, I have to do everything all the days, and also being involved in the screams or therapy session, like it's like you become tired, you know.
There's a couple of players in Siege though that do hit the gym a lot. You know, you look at the likes of Laxing, he loves the gym. You've got Crying, you've got Deepak, yourself. Spoit loves the gym as well.
Now the space station team as well. I saw a picture. I think it's like a trend now, and I'm very happy about that because that means that everyone is living a better life, you know.
Yeah, I think Yeti used to be a big fan of the gym too, and he used to play. Yeah. So you've got all those. What about sports? Are you into any sports? Do you watch football, rugby? Like, if you
I don't play anymore because I played 11 years football, and like that's the reason, because I'm a competitive player, because I played 11 years football, then like I had a problems on both my knee, so I had to stay home and I started playing games. And I love football. Like I follow AS Roma, of course, my city football club, and I watch pretty much every game when I can. So yeah, I would say football more than everything, and then UFC. I'll watch a lot of UFC.
Yeah. So, have you been to many Roma Lazio games? I heard the crowd can get a little bit spicy in those ones.
Yeah, like it's like a war for us, no? Yeah. Like Roma and Lazio both feel a lot the ultras word, and so when there is the game, like here in Rome, is a war, and for like 2 weeks before the derby and 1 week after, you're gonna hear about Roma Lazio all the day.
I love it. Look, I'm a huge football fan myself. I go to my local club's not quite as good as AS Roma. My local club plays in the second division in Ireland, so you can get an idea of the standard there. But no, I love football. I love the atmosphere. You know, one of the things that I love about esports events is when you get the crowd getting that type of football atmosphere.
Yeah, I love it as well.
Like, I think I got to give credit to CS. Like, some CS events, those crowds are just absolutely nuts. So
my favorite fan base, let's say like that, it's Carmine Corps. fan base, the community they have, like, I think that's amazing because like I think it's the community that like they look most likely like a football team community, you know, like their fan are like ultras, so I love them.
Vitality fans are a bit like that too, though, when you see some of their games. But no, I get that. So you spoke about playing football for 11 years. Do you think that's where you got your competitive streak from? Like, was playing football what drove you to want to win? Because I noticed you like UFC, you compete in esports, you played football. A lot of that seems to be you love things that are where there's a lot of emphasis on success for you, like your successes and the success of a team. So you've had that from a young age then.
Yeah. I've always had that inside myself, like that competitive side of myself. That for everything I do in life, even like at school, I don't know, I had to do a test. I was gonna be competitive with all my schoolmates or really whatever. Even when we have a discussion among like my friends, I'm there competing like for for my points. So
yeah,
I would say for everything, I'm very, very competitive, and I love that. Me in Siege, I love the adrenaline you have while playing. That was the same I was feeling in football. I had to find something else where to feel that again.
And did you find it difficult to explain esports to family and friends? Like, were they a little bit skeptic when you said, my job is going to be gaming, I'm going to be playing games for a living? Like, what was their mindset whenever you told them that?
At the beginning, to my family was a little bit difficult. Not to my dad, but more to my mom. But then she understood with the time after seeing the results, and after like I joined Machko, everything changed, and she started seeing that as a job. So I'm happy about that. And with my friends, I'm very, very, very lucky because like every of them support me, and every people I meet that I explain him what I do, then he's gonna support me. Happens that some friends that became my friends later like knew me before because of Siege, so they support me. So I'm very, very, very lucky about that.
So if you qualified for a LAN, would you be nervous about your family and friends being in the audience watching you, or would you thrive on it? Would they go like, what's the?
No, I think I will be like even better, you know. Like it's like the fuel inside a car, like you're fueling me with some gasoline, and like I'm gonna be stronger.
No, I love. Actually love that. It'd be cool to. Same for me as a caster. Like someday I'd love to cast in front of family and friends at a LAN. Hopefully it happens. We never know. We'll see. And don't know what the future holds. So looking into the future then, and whenever you eventually do leave esports, have you anything in mind as to what you want to do? Like, do you want to continue working in this industry? Would you want to move into broadcasting, like being an analyst or a caster, or like what do you think?
I have a very clear idea about that, and I've always been. I love esports. I love Italy. So my dream is to bring the esports, the real side of esports, inside Italy and let it grow the most, like we never had. So of course, when I'm finished with the player career, and I hope it's gonna be in a very, very long time, I'm gonna look at opportunity and try to build something more for Italian esports. Hopefully, my player career is gonna be full of success, so it's gonna be easier to do that in my country. That's it. Like I think I couldn't live without the esports and without the competition, so I'm gonna stay here.
I love it. I love that from you. So I think the last thing I'm going to say is, as we're about to wrap up, is there anything you'd like to say to any of the WYLDE fans or TEB fans out there before we finish?
Just like I always say, and I always talk with my the people that follow me, and they're very close to me. Every one of them know, and I love them. I very grateful to have them. Also my friends, and the WYLDE family that support us and follow us in every game. Also the WYLDE staff, and also to you, Gibson. You're an amazing cast. You know that I support you as well, and thank you for having me here.
No, look, thanks a million. All I can do is wish you all the best of success. I hope you enjoy the next couple of months. You know, enjoy the downtime. Hopefully, it's the last time in your career you'll have a lot of time. So enjoy it. You know, have time with family and friends. Keep getting better because, like I said, I think this year you've gone like your trajectory is straight up. You're playing so well right now. Keep it up, and all the best in the future.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. And for those of you watching, if you want to follow Ted, make sure to hit him up on Twitter. I think you stream on Twitch from time to time too, right?
Yeah.
So, if you want to shout out your socials?
I stream on Twitch. I try to do at least 4 or 5 times a week, but it's very hard. I post on TikToks, YouTube. Very active on Instagram as well. So wherever you want, follow me, and you're gonna have fun for sure.
Yeah, 100%. Give that man a follow. Thanks to everyone for watching. Hope you all have a great weekend, and we'll see you all soon.